Hi friends, so let's start with the fifth lecture of Excel. So in the previous class we have discussed about the data, how we have to do the consolidation, how we have to do the what if analysis, and how we can do the grouping and the ungrouping. So today we are going to study about the certain formulas which are very important for any Excel sheet, because normally we have the data in form of a number, so again we need to perform a lot of actions which we can ease out our process through using some formulas. As you can see, so here we have the sum worksheet. So there are certain numbers. So if I want to, Excel is like this is a calculator. So when we use a calculator, you have always seen like normally how it works is, suppose we have to do an addition, so 2 plus 3. So in calculator we normally press equal to after writing 2 plus 3. But in Excel, so Excel is again the same calculator. So again I would say it is an advanced calculator which can perform multiple operations. So let's suppose you want to add two numbers. In Excel, when you have to write the formula, you have to put equal to first, and then you have to write the numbers and then press enter. So you have the final outcome, which is 5. This is the output result, and this is the formula bar where you have written the formula equal to 2 plus 3. Suppose you want to add some large numbers, maybe 12 plus 231. So the output should be 243. So again you can see the result is 243, and in the formula bar we can see the actual numbers we have written. So similar to this, we can perform multiple tasks, like we can add more than 2 numbers, more than 3 numbers, maybe 1 plus 4, 54 plus 5 plus 10 plus 12. So Excel has the capability to add the multiple numbers using one single formula. So now you can see the final output, which is 82, and in the formula bar you can see the numbers. So it's not only the summation the Excel can do. If you want to do some other process like 12 divided by 6, so the output is 2. If you want to multiply certain numbers, 2 multiply by 3 multiply by 10, so this should be 60. Or if you want to do the subtraction, so 40 minus 20 plus 10 minus 35. So here you have the final output, which is minus 5. So this is how you can use your Excel sheet. So maybe next time onwards you don't need to use any calculators in your laptops or maybe in your mobile phones. You can directly use your Excel sheet to do any sort of operation. So going further, we need to understand, like it's not only about the certain numbers we have to do the summation or we have to do the subtraction. So there can be certain numbers which are already present in your cell. Like in the A1 cell we have 4, 3, 6 and then 4. So if we want to do a summation for the certain numbers, we can do it in the Excel. So how we can do this? Equal to, so we can, like we have already discussed, we can directly do it 4 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4. So we have the output 17. And this is one of the way we can do the summation. There could be another way. We can make the input value dependent upon the cell. So this is like equal to A1. So I repeat, first we will type equal to, then we will just select the cell A1, then plus sign, again you can select the next cell, which is A2, then A3 plus A4. So this area seems to be very interesting, like this Excel formula bar is very user friendly. This A1 cell is marked with blue color, then A2 is with green color, then brown, and so pink. So that is how like you can generate the summation of a certain range of numbers. So now again the final output is 17. So how this output is different from the previous one which we have written 17. So let's discuss about it. Maybe in future if we change the value of the cell from 3 to 13, so you will see the output should be increased to 27. But the output has been increased only in the cell number 20 C5 which is 27. But if we talk about the cell number C3, the output is similar to the previous one which is 17, because the input given by us was directly the numbers we have put into the formula bar. But when we talk about the output in C5, this is dependent upon the inputs in the cell. So if we change any input value, suppose if I change it to 16, again my output will be changed to 31. So this is how we can do the summation. If we want to use any formula, so again this will be a tedious process. Suppose if we have a large range of numbers, so if I have certain numbers like so again this is difficult to do the addition for all these numbers starting from A1 to 23, because it's gonna take long time. So if I do it manually, you can see it is again a difficult process to do it. So again these are only 23 numbers. Let's suppose we have a range of 1000 numbers, then I think this is not the right way to do the summation of numbers. So what we can do is we can use a formula which is a sum formula equal to sum and then put bracket, or you can use a tab key, and then you can directly select the range of the numbers which you want to do the summation and then close it. I repeat the same process. What you have to do is, rather than directly selecting the cell number, first write the formula equal to sum, put a bracket, and then select the range of the numbers starting from A1 to A23, and then press enter. So here you have the final output. So maybe your numbers can go down to 1000 or maybe any other XYZ number. So again, if you want to do the summation, so here there is a new task, like if you want to select the number starting from A1 to the last row, again it will be difficult to select it manually. So what you can do is again go back to A1 cell and press Ctrl plus Shift key plus down arrow key. So this will automatically select all the numbers. You can see it in the formula bar, equal to sum A1 to A137, and then you close the bracket and press enter. So here you have the final summation of all the numbers. So always remember, if you want to select the complete range of numbers, so you can use Ctrl plus Shift plus down arrow key. So this will select the complete range of number. And this is how we can do the summation. So moving on to the next formula, which is Sumif. So Sumif is again, sum means we have to do the addition of certain numbers. But if we are using if means we are doing the addition on the basis of certain criteria. So what the criteria we have here is, so suppose these are few friends who have taken maybe who have exchanged some money with each other, like Nikhil has given 2 rupees, or maybe they have given some rupees to some vendor. So Nikhil has given 2 rupees, then Gaurav gave 5, Praveen gave 7, again Gaurav did the expenditure of 5 rupees, Nikhil 1, Ankur is 3, Praveen 5. So we are already aware of this part. If we want to do the summation, so what we can do is we can directly use a formula, sum formula. So what we can do is we can directly write equal to sum and select the range of numbers and close the bracket, press enter. So here we have the final summation of the numbers, which is 40. So let's suppose if we want to find out how much amount Nikhil has spent in this complete expenditure, so how we are going to do that? So if we have to do the same task manually, so I would have to select the expenditure done by Nikhil. So 2 rupees, 1 rupees, 3 rupees. So the total amount is 6. So how we can find out this value using a formula? So this is how we can do it using Sumif. So here we have Nikhil, Gaurav, Ankur and Praveen. So if we want to do the summation for Nikhil, we can use a formula equal to Sumif, and then you have to select the range where you have to search the criteria Nikhil. So the range will be A2 to A11. After selecting the range, you can put the criteria which is Nikhil E2, and then you can again select the numbers which you want to do the summation. So this will be A2 to A11, the criteria will be E2, and the sum range will be B2 to B11. So when you close the bracket and you press enter, you have the final output, which is 6. I repeat the same process. First write the formula equal to Sumif. Maybe you can note down somewhere in your register so that this will be easy to track. So what our objective is, here we have certain names, and right now we want to do the summation of the numbers, which is basically the expenditure done by Nikhil. So the expenditure amount is rupees 2, rupees 1 and rupees 3. So we want to do the summation of these 3 values, and how we are going to do this? So we have a certain range here. In this range we want to find out Nikhil. So what Excel will do is, Excel will try to find out the places where Nikhil is present in this complete range A2 to A11, and then the criteria is E2. E2 is nothing but Nikhil, which we want to find out in the complete range, and then you have to select the numbers where you want to do the summation. So this will be the sum range. To start off, write equal to, then Sumif, then the range A2 to A11, and then the criteria E2, and then the sum range B2 to B11. So this will give you the output 6. Now what we can do is, we can copy the same formula and we can paste it in the below cells against Gaurav, against Ankur and Praveen. So you will find the output has come to 10, 3 and 14. But this let's first discuss about how the output is coming. So when I go back to cell number F3, you will find the range has been changed to A3 to A12. Earlier the range was A2 to A11. But when we pasted the same formula to the bottom cell, the range has been changed to A3 to A12. A3 to A12 is nothing but starting from Gaurav till the next cell of Praveen. And when we talk about Ankur, the range has been changed from A3 to A12 to A4 to A13. And similarly for Praveen, the range has been changed from A4 to A13 to A5 to A14. So what we are observing is, with every cell, this A2 has been increased to A3, this A11 has been increased to A12, E2 has been increased to E3, B2 has been increased to B3, and B11 has been increased to B12. Again, what we need to understand is, this range should have been A2 to A11 rather than A3 to A12, because the range is always fixed. We don't have the names which are extending. So what we can do is, we should always fix the range from A2 to A11. And similarly, when we talk about criteria, earlier the criteria was to find out the summation of Nikhil, but now the criteria has been changed to Gaurav. So if this E2 has been changed to E3, so this looks to be perfectly alright. And when we talk about the sum range B2 to B11, so again this should be fixed because the sum range should never change. This should not change from B2 to B11 to B3 to B12. So how we are going to fix the ranges? When we are writing the formula equal to Sumif and we are selecting the range A2 to A11, we can use the function key F4. So this will freeze the complete range. And then our criteria is Nikhil and the sum range is B2 to B11. So again we can freeze the complete range and we can close the bracket. So now you will observe is A2 to A11, this range has been freezed, E2 is not freezed, and B2 to B11 is again freezed. When I copy the same formula to the bottom cell, you will observe now this range has been fixed to A2 to A11. Even if I go down, you will see the E3 will change to E4, but the range is always fixed. So this is how we can do the summation using a condition, and we can use the formula Sumif. So moving on to the next formula, which is Sumif. So here we have the certain names and we have the subject. So name is Nikhil, Gaurav, Ankur, the names are repeating, and these students have scored some marks in their respective subjects: English, mathematics, English, science, mathematics. So what we need to do is we need to find out the values we need to find out how much Nikhil has scored in English, how much he has scored in maths, and how much he has scored in science. So again we will do the same process, but now we will find that here we have the two criteria. First one is we have to find out where the Nikhil is present in this range, and the next criteria is we need to find out where English is present in this range if we want to find out the marks for Nikhil in subject English. So how we are going to write the formula is we are going to use a formula which is Sumifs when we have the multiple criteria. So again we can select the complete range of data. So here we have the sum range in the beginning, and when we have a range we do the freezing part, which we do it using a function key F4. Then we have the range, criteria range 1. So this is the criteria range 1 where we want to figure out where the Nikhil is present. And next the criteria will be in this range we are trying to figure out where Nikhil is available. So this will be the criteria 1. Next criteria range will be B2 to B11. Again we will freeze the same range, comma, next criteria will be English. So English we are going to freeze it, so that when we copy it to the bottom cell, the English should not be changed to the next cell, which is G2. So here we have the marks for Nikhil in subject English, and we can copy the same formula for Gaurav, Ankur and Praveen. So this will reduce our work. And if we want to find out the value for mathematics, so again we will use the same formula equal to Sumifs. This is a sum range. Criteria range 1 will be A2 to A11. Criteria will be Nikhil. Criteria range 2 will be B2 to B11, and criteria 2 will be mathematics. So now we have the marks for Nikhil, Ankur, Gaurav and Praveen, and same we can do for science subject. So sum range will be C2 to C11. We will freeze the range. Criteria range 1 will be A2 to A11. Criteria 1 will be Nikhil. Criteria range 2 will be B2 to B11, and criteria 2 will be signs. We will freeze the range and we will copy the same formula to the bottom cells, and here we have the marks for Nikhil, Gaurav, Ankur and Praveen in their respective subjects, English, Mathematics and Science. I hope this must be clear to all of you. Moving on to the next part, we will discuss how we can use count. Count is nothing but, count will give us the values, how many times the numbers are present in this range. So again, this is a small range of numbers, so we can see total numbers are 4, 3, 6 and 4. So there are the 4 numbers. If we want to find out the total numbers present in the ranges, so we can use a count formula, and directly we can select the range of number A3 to A6. So we have the final output 4. Let's suppose we have a large range of numbers, so we can use a formula ranked between, maybe starting from 1 till 10, and let me put a value A, maybe 1 lakh. So I will put a cross sign here, and if I want to copy the same formula, I will go down, and again I will go up using Control, Shift and up key, and paste the same formula. Let me do it again. A1000, put a cross mark, copy the same formula, go down and paste it to the top. So we have a certain range of numbers starting from A3 to A1 lakh. So now I will copy the range, I will paste it as values, and if I want to count the range of numbers, so what I can do is I can use a count function equal to count, and I can directly select the complete range of numbers A3 to A1 lakh and press enter. So here you have the total numbers which are available in the range A3 to A1 lakh, which is nothing but 99,998. So moving on to the next formula, we have count A. So count A is nothing but when we want to do the counting for a certain text values. So we have Nikhil, Gaurav, Ankur, Gaurav. So we want to find out how many names are present in this complete range. So if we want to use the same formula count, and if we select the complete range of data, you will see the output will not come. So again we can use a formula which is to count the alphabets. You can use a formula count A. A stands for alphabet. So now you can select the range of data and you can press enter. So here you have the final count, which is 10. So I hope this must be clear to all of you. So next we have a formula Countif. So Countif is almost similar to what we have done in Sumif. In Sumif we had been basically doing the summation of the values present in front of Nikhil. Using Countif, what we can do is we can figure out the values, how many times Nikhil is repeating in this complete range of data. So suppose if we have certain names and we want to find out how many times the Nikhil is appearing in this complete range, so we can use a formula equal to Countif, and here you have the range A1 to A10. So we already know when we have a range, so we can freeze the complete range using F4, and then the criteria will be Nikhil. So we want to see how many times Nikhil is appearing in this complete range. So the criteria will become E1, and you put the close bracket and enter. So you can copy the same formula and paste it in front of Gaurav, Ankur and Praveen. So here you have the final count. So Nikhil is coming 3 times. I will highlight the same values: Nikhil, A1, A5 and A8, and Gaurav is present at A2 and A4. Ankur is at A3, A6, and Praveen we have at A7 A9 and A10. So this is how you can use a formula count if. So I hope the formula part must be clear to all of you. These are the very basic level formulas. So in the next class we'll be discussing about how we can use a VLOOKUP, how we can work on index match, how we can work on the different text related formulas. So I hope this will be beneficial. So in the next time you can use the sum, sumif, sumifs, count, count A and the Countif formula. Thank you.